you know, Bahamians, I think that's their way of saying you lost too much weight. You should stop now.
I don't even think it's necessarily a lose too much. I just think it's more from a fact of Bahamians are not, this is going to sound very touchy, but Bahamians aren't always necessarily comfortable with change, even if it doesn't directly affect them.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of get used to what we know, what we deal with, and what we interact with on a regular basis. So when we see something, or see someone that we know was one way and now they're the other, like, well, what's going on with you? Is something wrong?
What happened is something you need to talk about. You need to go pray to God. You need to go to church. Like, you need to go get it handled. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
But sometimes people want to change. Hi bloomers, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute since I've been on here, but school is consuming me a bit, so please do not kill me. As you can see, I have a special guest by the name of Benton. For those of you who are the OGs of my channel, Benton is not a stranger. You guys have seen him in a couple little clips. He is usually a BTS behind the scenes. He used to be like my proof reader before I posted my blogs. And now I have him in front of the camera. It wasn't hard to convince him, so say hi.
Hey, how's it going?
So, like I said, today is going to be a little different. We're actually going to do a sit down with my little guest. We've been friends for about, well, it's been over 10 years now. We actually went to high school together. We went to university for a short time together until everyone decided that they wanted to separate, and we've what? We kept in communication, and then for the past year, it's been a year, I haven't really seen him.
It's been since waving through,
just waving through life, navigating it, because no one has it figured out. But
not at all.
I have him physically. Now I can actually touch him for once. This is actually the first time right now, the first time I'm seeing him in person in like about a year. Since my birthday, right? Has it been since
my birthday?
Yeah, since my birthday, and not birthday 2024. I think birthday 2023.
Probably.
Yeah, when we was over Atlantis, all of us went over Atlantis.
Yes, it was. Yes.
And you forgot. I had to call you.
I did not forget. First off,
he thought it was gonna
I thought it was the next day. That's a big difference. I didn't forget about the birthday. I simply forgot about the day.
Anyway, so we are here now. Benton is actually going to be asking me questions based on what you guys probably want to know about Azalea and whatever else. So Benton, you can take over now. Well, first of all, how have you been?
I have been good. I think that's the most operative word to use in this situation. I think I have done a lot of growth, in a sense, gotten a lot of things done that I wanted to. For the most part, been moving on to some new things, trying to figure out what I want to do in life, and you know, just trailblazing. And just a side note, I promise you, I'm not trying to look cool. These are not shades. These are actually prescription glasses. They just don't play about me. So the sun ain't winning this battle with me.
The sun is winning with me because I have on a hat representing Andrews Mangrove Key, where my dad family is from. Thanks, Daddy, for the hat. Yeah.
Damn, I feel like less of a Bahamian now. I heard the name Mangrove Key and I thought Mayagona. I don't know why. Anywho, we move on though.
So are you married yet? No, right?
Ooh, the pressure. The pressure.
I'm just making sure nothing happened in secret.
No.
Like,
no, we're not. No, I'm not there yet. As a person, I still have some personal goals I need to
achieve.
Yeah, before I think about stuff like that or children. Because I know that would have been the next question.
No, that wasn't. No, it wasn't. You promise.
Yeah, but well, let's get that out the air then. But yeah, for me, I just started a new job this year. I'm now in information technology and security.
Nice.
Something I've been wanting to do for a while now. So the first time I got into it, I said, hey, let's go. So I'm just pushing through and just trying to do whatever I can to excel in what I do now.
Awesome. So take it away, Benjamin Franklin. Yes, guys, if you hear me saying Benjamin, that is just a nickname we have for him, Benjamin. Why? I don't know.
I have too many nicknames at this point. I don't even keep count anymore.
Yeah, he has a lot of nicknames.
But moving along. So, Azalea.
Yes.
Tell us what made you think of doing a podcast?
Oh, you're really putting it out there. Wow, okay. It was something that I thought about doing for a minute, to be honest with you. I think me and you have had several conversations about it. I wanted something more interactive, right? Actually have people on. I don't want your typical social influencers on. I actually want like my regular close friends, and over here and there I have people who are well known. I like to talk, and I'm long-winded. So I'm long-winded, and I think a podcast is pretty cool because there are different ways to get messages out there. Everyone is already kind of used to me being on camera talking about my spiritual journey or my spiritual walk, encouraging people, whether it's just like different Bible scriptures and stuff like that, or recommending things, right? And I feel like I just have the personality for a Poddy, but I don't want mine to be like the same normal podcast. Like, I'm trying to figure out right now, like, what direction do I want to take it if I was to say fully go into a podcast, because it would be different from Blooming with Azalea. So that's just an FYI for now, guys. Like, if I do a podcast, it would not be on this platform. It would not be on Blooming with Azalea. It'll have its own separate platform. So that's something to just put out there from now. It will be something separate. But as you see, this is just like this is a tester. But yeah, I think it'll be more mature. Not saying my stuff isn't mature now, but it would just be like for more older people, like mid-20s and up, and so like that, because you would have like more bolder conversations, topics, you know. I like podcasts. I like listening to them too. I think they're pretty cool. So yeah.
That's fair. And you know what, you're right. You do have the personality for podcasting. And I think the first time we had a conversation about it years ago, I saw it, you know. It's just a matter of, just like anything we do in life, we have to plan it out and actually execute.
Yeah.
And before you execute, we always have to know how are we going to execute and stuff like that. And it's good to see that a lot of all that planning and sowing of seeds came into fruition.
Damn, you got it down. Yeah. Planting seeds. And funny thing is, I actually have a book that I wrote all the topics. I have you, Jodeci, Tristan, Tay. Remember Tay?
Yes.
I have Tay. I have all y'all names written down. And based on each individual, that's what my topic is going to be about.
I'm curious, but we'll save that for later.
Well, I actually from you and I, it's actually going to be me, you, and Jodeci. It would be the three of us together.
That's good, because I have a question in regards to that, but we'll save that for later.
Yes, go ahead. And I am a perfectionist. So that is why I think the Poddy thing hasn't really gone out there yet. I really wanted a setup. I wanted something different from this. I wanted to be a nice vibe, chill vibe, like everyone coming in there cozy, you know, stuff and socks and stuff. So we're working towards that. We're gonna try work towards it, guys. So if you're looking forward to it, let us know. You know, if you have any ideas, if you want to be someone who comes on, especially my OGs, you know, you're more than welcome as well.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm here.
He's here. It didn't take much convincing. It's just that we were supposed to do this from like 2 weeks ago.
No comment. But yeah, nonetheless, let's not focus on the past. We're here now. So now that we understand why you're doing the podcast, why you want to do the podcast, we kind of have an understanding of where you want to go with the podcast. Let's add a little bit more meat to it. Now, relax, I'm not going that deep yet, you know. You're still feeling out, you know. So tell me.
Tell you.
Okay, this one is more like personal than related to the podcast.
Okay.
But let's try to incorporate everything.
Okay.
Because this could be a story for later down, hint, hint. But I'll take my fees later for it. But I want you to think of me, you, and Jodeci. Because most people know us as, that trio.
Yes.
Where in most places wherever we go, you see one or the other.
Three Musketeers.
Because I think I wore the same shirt out one day. And we were all matching in like similar.
I still have that photo.
I think that was for Jodeci's birthday.
I still have that photo.
Yeah.
I still have that picture.
I mean, same.
My hair was very short.
I remember all that, but I'll take your word for it.
And I was chunkier.
Okay, yes, that piece I remember.
Because I'm working out in the gym now.
Yes, I know. You're a brand new person. I'm proud of you. We're all working out,
Thank you. Thank you. You're just bulkier now.
Yeah.
Someone told me I look sucked in. I don't know. They see my neck and my face.
That's crazy.
I guess that's, Bahamians. I think that's their way of saying you lost too much weight. You should stop now.
I don't even think it's necessarily a lose too much. I just think it's more from a fact of Bahamians are not, this is going to sound very touchy, but Bahamians aren't always necessarily comfortable with change, even if it doesn't directly affect them.
Yeah.
They kind of get used to, we kind of get used to what we know, what we deal with, and what we interact with on a regular basis. So when we see something, or see someone that we know was one way and now they're the other, like, well, what's going on with you? Is something wrong?
What happened? Is something you need to talk about? You need to go pray to God. You need to go to church. Like, you need to go get it handled. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
But sometimes people want to change, and there's nothing wrong with change. And to be honest with you, Benton has changed a lot since the last time we probably interacted. You still be shouting at the bar sometimes, or you cut that out?
Shouting at the who? I can't remember the last time I shouted in my life.
Okay, good. See? Change, guys. Change.
I'm more of a background character. I'm okay with that, though.
Aw. I don't know if that's good or bad. I think that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, you can do everything from the back, even lead.
A word for some of y'all. A word.
But I feel like we diverted away from the question.
Go back to the question.
Let's run it back a little bit. So, when you think about us three, I want you to ponder upon it for a second. And I want you to think of a movie title. What would you call our relationship, our dynamic? And not just right now and our highest moments, but in
our low moments
entirety.
too?
Yeah.
Jesus.
What would you call that? And let's add a little spice to it. Who would act as us?
I don't know. I can't say Charlie's Angels because that's 3 women. I can't say.
No.
Can we think of like Marvel characters?
Sure, I vibe with that.
I don't know all of the Marvel characters. You know what? Let's take it to Disney. Snow White and the Dwarfsman, but you're not short, so I don't know.
I mean, I kind of am short, but that's fine.
Benton is a freaking football player.
That don't make me less. That don't make me less.
That'll make you less now. It doesn't. I don't know. I just think, okay, if I had to think of a title, I think it's cliche to say the 3 Musketeers, right? But I feel like that's what I used to call us. The 3 Musketeers. I really like kind of grew up like with y'all two saying like the 3 Musketeers. Now we said break it down into like characters and stuff. You have Jodeci. You will have to describe my character, but you had like for me, Jodeci and Benton are like my brothers. So I've always said that. But the fun fact is, they are my little big brothers. I'm actually older than both of them by a year, right? It's by a year.
Yeah, 2.
A year or 2.
A year and a half.
We're not calling ages, but just know I am older than both of them. Yes, I am older than both. So they were like my guardian angels, my protectors. They actually, like how you have females who, and let's just put this in the air now because people have a problem with this. You do have some females who have close guy friends who are closer with their guy friends than they are their female friends. Now, because life did its thing, I have not been as close to Jodeci and Benton, but like Jodeci and Benton were like, we were like this. All of us were like this. It was me and them too. It was no other girls in the picture. It's always been like a brotherly, sisterly relationship, like siblings type of thing. They know the good, the bad, the ugly. They've seen me cry. They've seen me angry. They've seen me fail and get back up and try again, I guess. So I Benton is is Mr. Wisdom.
Oh yeah, that leads into my next question.
Hold on. He is Mr. Wisdom. He's Mr. Wise. He's Mr. Before I react, I'm gonna think this through. Do we all really want to make this decision right now, or should we wait? He is Mr. Let's make financial decisions that are going to make sense later on. Jodeci is more like
let's get it.
Let's go. We ain't got no time. We ain't slapping up. If he say y'all want to rob a bank tomorrow, I got the car ready. Y'all got the clothes. Y'all say we doing this in 24 hours. What y'all waiting on?
Disclaimer: we are not actually robbing banks.
We're not. Disclaimer now, because I don't want y'all to take this to CDU or listen. People trying to travel too. We're not really gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then there's Odette, Azalea. Go ahead. Was spoiled. I was a spoiled sibling. They used to fight for me, not literally, but I know if I said there was a problem.
And I like the speed, but
furious.
But let me describe Azalea. The word I'd like to use: explosive, and not necessarily the bad way, you know.
Because automatically they thinking.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that. It's that when you need that raw power, that output from someone in a situation, that's her. You know, when if things are bad and you need someone to say, hey, let's alert the whole crew, that's her. You know, she is the most vocal, I think, of the three of us.
Yeah.
And most times she's usually the one that will let you know what it is, whether you want to hear it or not.
I think all of us are like that to a degree, though.
True, but if you use someone like me, for instance, I'm probably going to hang back on it until necessary.
Yeah.
But when we come to you, Miss Explosive, from the get-go, we know, poof, this is what it is, this is what you're doing, this is why you shouldn't do it. And you know what? 9 out of 10 times she may be right.
Because I use logic.
Slow it down.
Never mind.
But, like, sometimes it's needed. Sometimes you need that quick snap to understand, hey,
snap out of it.
What's going on? And, you know, maybe that'll save you from making an extra step that shouldn't be done. Mm-hmm. And just like in basketball, for all the people on here that actually like basketball, that quick explosive first step is important most time, because you need to react quickly, and that containerized everything that makes Azalea who she is.
I'm not as loud anymore, guys, I promise. Like I really did find Jesus.
Yes, how has that been going? Because I think I have seen a lot of the journey myself already. I've seen the progress, I've seen the ups and downs when it came to holding on to that faith while actually going through real life problems and stuff like that, and persevering through it. So my question to you is, with all that in mind, how has it been, and how is it going now?
So let's start with one. How has it been? It's been good. I will not lie. It is challenging, but it's actually been really good. I think it's something that I really, really needed. I remember one of the first spiritual posts that I made was feeding my spirit. And I said something like I felt hungry for something, I didn't know what it was. And I realized that, okay, I need more of God in my life. Like, I was doing a lot of things, but I was not including Him. And I noticed the difference between when you don't have God and when I do have Him. What it's like just navigating through life without, and then navigating with Him. And a lot of people think, oh, when you go on this Christian journey, oh, it's so easy. I promise you, it has not gotten easier. Life isn't easy without, and life isn't easy with. But I think there is like two different types of difficulty levels. I think you manage more when you're without him, because you living of the world. You're not really checking like that. Like, you just doing whatever you want. Even if you have a conscience, you're kind of like, but like when you have Christ, you really start to think twice about certain things, the way you choose to react. I think one of the main things, especially with this walk with him, is being still. Like dealing with the things of life, like what comes with life, just dealing with being still, being patient, especially like when you know the conversations you've had with him. But it's been good. How has it been? It's been good. Now, what was the second part of it? Like, how's it going? Or
yeah, where are you now, and how do you see, well, I didn't ask this piece earlier, but how do you see yourself improving from a real life perspective and a spiritual perspective?
So a real life perspective, I think I'm more aware, I'm more cautious now, whether people know it or not. Because I do have people outside of this content who know me, like whether they work with me and stuff like that, right? So you have people who trying to figure you out and all that stuff. They probably know the old me, who was a little more immature at the time, or whatever the case. But it's realistically, like I said, I just have more of a conscience now. Like when it comes to certain things, like even the way I react to things now is kind of like, react, don't react, leave it alone, leave it in God's hand. And then it's like, okay, if I react, then something else may come out of it. But if I let him deal with it, so it's internal conflict. It's a lot of internal conflict. I'll put it like that. I have a lot of internal conflict with it. But spiritually, pretty good. I tend to see things more in a different light. Like I recognize certain things now. I know when to say, okay, this should be something you should pull back on. Maybe it's something you should go forward with. I started talking more in prayer group too, like my Bible study, because y'all have been to one or two of them before. So they actually have me speaking more now, like actually giving out a message and stuff. I did one recently and the feedback was really, really good, especially from like our leading pastor. So I've been doing a lot of that. When it comes to swearing, we actually fell down. We took a step back. I'm not gonna lie. I did take a step back.
When it comes to
swearing.
Okay.
I did take a step back. I'm not perfect, guys. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. But I did take a step back. I think right now it's just really intense. I'm trying to remind myself it's the Lenten season. We're still in Lent. So, testings and trials, but it's been pretty good. People don't tell you. People can tell you what it's like, but you don't understand that walk until you're doing it yourself. People always believe it's so easy to walk with God and try to take the higher road and stuff. And let me tell y'all something. When you hear people say take the high road, that ain't nothing fleshly. That's actually spiritual too. Like when people say take the high road, because you have to understand, if you don't want to deal with it, you really got to put that in God's hand and be serious about, I'm letting you deal with this. I just have to take the bullets for now until you decide you want to come into this situation.
And the funny thing about all of that is, especially when it comes to letting go and letting God handle stuff like that, is that as a society, as human beings, we love to control everything around us, right?
Yeah.
And at some level, we are all at fault when it comes to things like that. But the biggest part of letting go and letting God handle it is understanding that we really don't control anything other than ourselves.
That's where obedience comes in.
That is where obedience comes in, because when you think about life, when you think about yourself and the things you go through on a daily basis at your job, with your family or stuff like that, you may want to, control that person, control that thing, to
control the narrative,
right, to operate how you want it to operate. But the reality is, when you're dealing with other people, you're dealing with people who have their own belief system, their own perspective, their own spirits that want to do their own thing as well. So in life, there'll always be pushback there, and you may feel like you can't do nothing, but no, you control what you can. You leave people with the freedom to do what they need to do to make themselves happy, while also leaving yourself in a specific situation to be obedient to God, and showing that you are that idol. I wouldn't even say idol. I think that's a poor word to use, but that role, not necessarily role model, but that role in life where you are an example of, let's say, stillness. I'm going to use your word, because let me use an example for me in particular. Like I said earlier, I am now in a new role at work, new organization as a whole, but I have been trying so hard to leave my old role for a while, and every time I tried to do something, I got pushed back. I tried an exam, to get some professional certifications and stuff. I failed it, and I was like, okay, I really want to do this. I feel like this is my passion, but why am I not getting nowhere with it? I can't get no experience with it. I can't get the obvious qualifications needed. Maybe this isn't for me. What is it? But at the same time, I keep getting things. I keep getting like these subtle things to say, hey, this is still for you. I just need you to be patient. And
a time and season for everything.
The time and season for everything
open
is
heaven.
Serious, because right now,
that's my favorite verse in the Bible for a reason.
When I reflect about my life and stuff like that, and I think about where I am now, this is quite literally where I've been praying to be, where I've been hoping to be for maybe, I don't know how long, where I'm working or part of a security team that's still growing. That we're not perfect yet, obviously, but I came in at the right position where I can grow with them. I can help give them my ideas to move forward, help on a more country level base, and then hopefully spread internationally. And that's something I always wanted to do. I always believed in community, no matter how much of a quote-unquote lone wolf I may say I am. I always believe in the sense of community and finding your people.
You heard it here first, guys. He claims to be a lone wolf, but there was a key word just now: community.
Yeah, because no matter how
put it out there,
no matter how much you like to be to yourself, you can never push down the idea of what a community actually is and what they serve to you, because one man can't learn everything, one man can't do everything, one man can't understand everything. Like we may born alone, by ourselves with no other help other than your parents that made sure that you came home safe. But the reality is, life doesn't operate that way. Life doesn't care if you were born alone or born as a twin. Regardless, this life's going to keep coming at you as if you have people behind you that may help you up. It doesn't care that you want to be by yourself, you want to be alone. The reality is, life doesn't operate like that. As a society, humans have survived because we knew when to rely on others and when to rely on ourselves. And I think that's the most important balance that we should always learn to adhere to and adapt.
It's a balance, but always know as well, like at the end of the day, it's every man for themselves. No one is going to pick you up. People could give you all the best advice in the world, but at the end of the day, guess what? It still boils down to you by yourself and making up your mind. No one is going to do it for you, unfortunately. Some people, yes, they have help or are born with that privilege, but at the end of the day, it's still you by yourself. And that's why they say trust no man, just trust God, because man will fail you.
And I think that's the biggest part, that where comes the balance of it all. Because along with all of that, how do you tie that into community, right? How do you tie that into actually having people around you that you can quote unquote trust to help you move forward?
And sometimes those people only for a season.
And again, that's fine because nothing in this world lasts forever.
No.
And
because you're born, you live, and you die. We have a birth date and we have an expiration date.
And with that, you could
just don't know how you
learn to not take certain things too personal. But some things you learn to not take too personal in life, because we understand that some people come into your life, you gotta enjoy them when they're here, learn from them, teach them, guide them, etc., etc.
Do you know that's what I thought about when you just said that? Like, when it comes to me, you and Josie, I think there was a long season where the three of us kind of just was like dependent on each other. Like, we was just riding along the ride together. Hey, what you doing this weekend? Okay, I ain't got nothing else to do.
Well,
And then life just played its part, and it's like, all right, time to separate y'all for a bit. Y'all need to
No, you're
separate.
right.
Y'all need to, the three of y'all need to grow the hell up, basically. That's what life, I feel like that's what life said. And I thought about that the other day. Like, when I first asked you, like, would you come on and whatever, I thought about that. I was like, you know something? There's gotta be a reason why. Because I was like adamant, like, no, I'm not gonna ask Benton yet. No, I'm not gonna ask Josie yet. I'm gonna ask someone else. And someone just said, Azalea, go and ask Benton. I think now is the time y'all to actually, like, come back together and, like, do something.
no, that's fair. Everything
weird.
comes and happens, and weird is the definite word for it.
Yeah.
Because
I was scared to ask you. Sorry, not to cut you off. I was scared to ask you.
why?
I don't know. I haven't seen you in like over a year. Like, to randomly just pop in your chat. Hey, you wanna be in my video? Like, you wanna do something together?
But you thought I was gonna say no, Carrie. You
I
have
probably-
to talk to me again.
Yeah. No, I didn't think you were gonna do all that. No, but I was just like, I wonder if Benton would be interested. Like, he has been with me in the beginning, like, of like Bloom with Azalea, like from when I first said, hey, I think I should start writing. Hey, like he was the one who offered, hey, before you put anything out, let me read it for you. I mean, just make sure, like, you're not putting too much, but you are giving enough. Like, he was that person, him and my next girlfriend, but she lives in Texas. Yeah. So it's between the two of them. So to now come to him, like, and be like, hey, bro, come on camera with me. Like, I don't know. I think I was overthinking it, though. Like, you want to just be on camera with me today?
And that's a whole nother conversation when it comes to overthinking, because, you know, we tend to beat ourselves up before anyone can even touch us or say anything to us.
right.
We tell ourselves the worst things possible, and by the time it's time to actually confront that person or thing, you realize, hey, it was never that as serious or as bad as we thought it would be.
Yeah.
Because here I am now. Without saying any of those bad things, she probably thought I was going to say it in her head.
I didn't think you were bad. I just thought you probably just may have not been interested.
And okay, and that goes back to, you know, the bad things we say to ourselves in our head.
Yeah.
If I had to say no, then what?
I would have been sad.
Fair, and that's okay. That's part of the life that we were talking about earlier. But then what? Were you not going to just do the podcast anymore, or were you going to?
No, it's not beg you. Please come on. Why won't you?
Okay, that's one way to do it.
I would have pleaded my case. I would have pleaded my case to the jury. To the jury.
That's definitely one way to do it. But even so, that's still.
But I just would have found someone else, to be honest with y'all. But I felt like Benton was like the perfect person. Sorry, like, I thought he would have been the perfect person for this like pilot, what they call it, like, just as a. Letting y'all know now, this is just a tester. This really is a tester. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, this is a tester. But yeah. So what else? What other questions do you have? I feel like your brain is not percolating to ask me some real stuff. I'm scared. Like my nails, by the way. So mine, don't they look strong now?
Yeah, they look very strong.
No, I'm so proud of them.
So, I want you to give your viewers a little bit of an insight on where you think or where you want this podcast to go
Right now.
right now.
We manifesting this.
We manifesting and abstracting
Mighty
as simple
God,
as possible.
glory to God. I sound like my church people now.
It may not go anywhere near to what you may say right now, but hey, you're not lying. You're just trying to put forward what you want from this podcast.
Well, to be honest with you, I want y'all to find me on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and YouTube, and where else? Well, automatically YouTube. What other streams there is?
Apple Music.
Apple Mute. That's why I say podcast. You know, Apple have podcasts. Apple Podcast.
Fair, but I think they still, you know what? Nah,
What's that new one they have? Patreon.
Patreon, yes, a lot of people are on Patreon
So
now.
some of y'all could get like subscribe, and then y'all just do like a mini fee. Y'all get to see like more in detail depth stuff. I want to see that. I definitely want this to go bigger. Like, I don't just want this to be fixated in Nassau. I don't want this to just be fixated in the Bahamas, to be honest with you, because I just thought about it. This year would make, hold on, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This year would make 7 years of me doing Blooming with Azalea in August. That's almost 10 years. Yeah, that's almost 10 years. Yes, that's crazy. And so for this here now is kind of like, I want this to be honest, I would love for this to go international and be able to feature not just Bahamians, but like other people as well. Like, shoes, if I could have Sarah Jakes, Pastor Keon, B. Simone, what's her name? Renee Crystal. She's on Sisters, and Zetima. Love her podcast. Yeah, you probably don't know who these people is. That's
I know maybe 2 of those people.
That's okay.
But that's fine. It ain't about me right now.
Like, I want us to go far. I want us to reach people, and I wanted to speak to people, like, depending on the different topics we talk about, you know, even people who just knew me from Blooming with Azalea and just being like, babe, I remember when she started, like, look how far she is. And to be honest, like, you know, benefits come with it later on in life, right? I just wanted to go big. Like, I want to be able to make myself proud with this, because I think this runs in my, like, this goes deep for me. This isn't just me. This goes, like, in my bloodline. Like, on, I think both my mom and dad's side, especially my auntie Elspeth, she had her own TV show or show. I think, was it with Tempo? You remember Tempo?
Vaguely.
Years ago, they had one thing called Tempo.
I remember Tempo.
Oh, she was Island Girl something was the name of her show, and she would go around to different Bahamian places. Like, she had her own show. She's very artistic, you know, like, this run deep. Like, on my mom's side, you have people who could sing, play instruments, you wiggling your toes, it looks so funny. You have, like, different things like that. Like, I want to make my generation proud and my family proud with this. Like, finally, like, someone really, like, went through, like, they didn't stop. And for this to grow beyond, like, the Bahamas, like, oh my gosh. And, like, people always tell me, you have the personality for it, so why don't you do it? Okay, well, now I'm doing it, people. Well, we get now. Now. I'm figuring it out. Figuring it out.
That's good. But, you know, and this is not to add pressure or nothing, but the hardest part of the battle isn't starting. It may feel like it, but the hardest part is
continuing.
Yeah.
And
waking up every day and saying, this is something I gotta do. And I'm going to keep doing it.
Oh, trust me. I've had many days of that alone with just doing the Blooming with Azalea content. Like, there are days where I'm like, this don't make no sense. And then I put that timeline in place. And I'm like, bro, and like I just tell you, it's going on 7 years. I don't know. Like, everyone say they don't know when that big break is. So, you know, you just keep pushing. You keep putting, and you're not putting stuff out there just to put stuff out there. You putting out, like, genuine content, but you putting stuff out there and hoping that one of you got mosquito flying there. You'll fit. Okay, it's right there. Got it. Sorry. I got to touch your face.
Damn. Can't probably get abused, but yes.
It landed perfectly, like, right down your face. It really did. You'll play back this video and you're gonna see. But no, but seriously, like, that timeline really comes in. It's like, you just put out content because you just don't know what that one video is gonna be, and then everyone just kind of, like, you know, and like, I keep having to tell myself, like, oh, like, Azalea, you don't do content that's easily, like, trended or gravitational. Right now, people gravitate towards video that talk about different gadgets, or girls who, like, people who just do everyday vlogs, makeup, testing out products. But what the thing is, they always eating. mukbangs. High cholesterol. I can't do that. I can't do that. Like you have people who do, and then you have that community of people who put out, unless you're someone who already was already an actress or you're already well known, and then you start doing it, you automatically get those people. But even with them, some of them stop because they realize this ain't really something I want to do. They just doing it because it sounded good. So it's difficult. It's scary.
That's fair. But
I tell you, there have been days where I'm just like, I'll be real with y'all. There are days where I'm just like, I don't know if I want to write anymore. And then every time I get to that moment, something is like, that ain't right. You need to have your pity party for a little bit, catch yourself a little bit, and you need to pick up your laptop, go and write, sit in your backyard, and go put out that video, because you just don't know who you reaching, even if people ain't saying nothing.
Yeah. And there's
and I'm just a regular small little girl in a house on a prairie. No one knows me like that. I'm just a regular normal girl. I'm just a normal person. Let's be real. In our country, let's be real. Most females, they look like those ones who really they look or have a certain tone or a certain hair. Like, let's be real.
I'm not debating any of that. I don't even know why I looked at you.
Why you look at me like
Very defensive, I must say.
I'm not being defensive.
But I was just going to add on to that a few different points.
Close the heads.
And I think one of the biggest things for you, just like everyone else, is finding your niche. And expanding on that niche without expanding what you do, if you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
Because most of us know the saying, or some of us may know it, that
again.
Now I forget it now that I said it. What is it? Jesus, I can't even remember.
You need to start taking your vitamins.
First off, I take my vitamins.
Do you take what's the vitamin for your brain? Vitamin B8? No way.
No, I haven't taken some vitamin B in a while. That's also because many things are processing in my head at once. But nonetheless, jack of all trades, master of none, or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, where you spread yourself so thin, trying to gather everything in this world, till you can't really stand out with nothing.
Yeah.
It's easy to want to do what you do and then add on something from, something new and trending as well, and just keep doing that.
Yeah.
Until you don't really have any foundation in anything no more. You're just someone who's known for a little bit of everything.
And I think I have semi-built a good foundation. I think it's safe to say.
And again, to my point, and that's where you find out the difference between expanding that versus expanding out of your reach. Because reality is not everyone is going to be able to do mukbang content. Everyone is not going to do day in the life content. Like those things, even the first set of people that did those things had no idea that was probably going to be a market. They probably just did it because they could do it, and what's it costing them at the time, right? And they did it. People started following it, and now it's a whole industry, safe to say.
It is. And then you have some of them I have this coworker. I don't want to call their name because I don't know how they're going to feel me calling their name. Someone who fairly recently joined our department. Shout out to you if you ever do watch this video. They fairly joined our department, and while we were talking, I said, how was it like working at his previous job? And he started to say, being at the top isn't always everything. When you sacrificing everything, you sacrificing your time, your family, things like that. And it's the same thing. And I told him too, with it was a sermon I was watching with Pastor Keon, and Pastor Keon say the best journey is getting to the top, because once you reach the top, there's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there. And so when my coworker said it to me, it made me kind of realize like I just need to enjoy me building my foundations and just doing this, because one day I'm gonna make it to the top, and then one day I'm just gonna be tired and be like, okay guys, like this is it, like I'm handing this over to someone else, or I'm taking a step back. I'm still gonna be present, but not in certain lights, you know. And sometimes I feel like even with people, look at the people who were popular when content creation first came out, you don't see them like that no more. You see them, but you don't see them like that. Like they still making their money, and they probably making money off of old videos that they could.
Not just that, I think some of them are also, they took a step back for their own personal reasons and kind of, you know, recalibrate, because sometimes that's what you have to do. You can't just live to just keep pushing output, you know, just keep creating. You're not a robot. Sometimes you need to sit back, you know, actually take care of yourself, and just realize that, hey, you need a break, regardless of how easy or how simple you think your job or your whatever it is. You need a break to figure out new things. And just to not push back, but to roll back to what we were talking about a little earlier, when you were talking about, you know, when you reach the top and you look around and there's nothing else to do, and you gotta just feel like that. This may feel like a hot take or an unpopular opinion or whatever, but to some degree I feel like once you get to the top, so to say, of wherever you want to be, and there's nothing around you to grow or evolve, you kind of fail yourself. Because I wholeheartedly believe in pulling yourself up to where you need to be successful. But when we think about community again for a second, and just
I love talking, guys, community,
and just, you know, being able to move forward and looking for things to grow more. If you're the only one there, did you really grow in a way that promotes you forever learning? Because for there to be only you up there, for there to be no formal way of you to actually expand or upgrade yourself anywhere after, that means that no one around you considered worthy enough to even be in your atmosphere. That means whatever they were going to do to grow didn't matter to you, or it may have mattered to you, but you never thought that it could become big. And to an extent may be true, but you may not have to drag someone up with you, you know. But as simple as speak life into what they do sometimes, just so that they understand that, hey, I could be up here, you could be up here, we could grow together.
Okay, hold on. Can we do a part 2?
Sure.
Okay, because you just said something. Guys, we're gonna have to do a part 2. So we're gonna have to like close this off right here real quick. We're gonna do a part 2 because he just spoke on something with people coming with you. And when you said that just now, I just thought of something. People who just stick around your circle because they're just waiting for you to make it big, but they're keeping you at arm's length.
And that's also something you need to notice. But again, we'll talk about that in
part 2. We're not changing our clothes or anything.
I may stretch a little bit.
He's gonna take a walk for a stretch. He probably may go say hi to his goddaughter Riley, because he must have her birthday. And we're gonna come right back. Okay, so guys, if you did enjoy part 1, you can comment below. You can ask a few questions if you guys wanna see me bring another person, or if y'all wanna hear about this mysterious Jodeci.
He may pop up here today. You can be surprised.
Will he though?
Yes, actually.
You lying?
No, not at all. Lying?
He coming
What do you
after
take me for? He may be. He said he was, but
you're so full of shit. I'll have a third mic.
That's fine. He'll be here for his facial responses.
Alright guys, so we'll be right back. We'll have a part 2. This is Benton, guys, my friend of 10 plus years. I'm so happy that you agreed.
Closer to 15 than 10. But
closer to 15 than 10.
Bro.
We're old. That's why you keep looking that way. You looking for him to walk in the yard.
Yeah, because I know, you know, he's coming busting through with all type of loud noise and like, hey, relax. But nonetheless, I already told him we already started, so I'll look to see if he messaged since.
Wow, well, we're gonna have a part 2. This was a surprise. I didn't know. Y'all make me cry. Y'all trying to make my dreams come true. Okay, guys, we'll have part 2. Keep blooming. We love you. See y'all in next week for part 2. Technically, we're gonna record it right now, but you know what I mean. Bye. Say bye.
Again?
Yeah.